It's super windy today, and also I had forgot my lens cap back in Riga, so I had to steal this one from Julia. But luckily she also had a Canon camera with the same diameter on the lenses, so I could just use this one. Probably super nice to be outside, but I'm really glad I don't have to be boating. Put me on a boat and it'll be 2 minutes and I will be seasick.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Studying medicine has been way more challenging than I ever could have anticipated. Now when we're on the remote learning and we have more time for ourselves, I also decided to pick up the pace with the vlogging. And quite many of my friends are asking me that how do I manage my time and how do I stick with everything with the studies, running North Country Clothing Company and also now doing these vlogs. And to be honest, it's a difficult task, but I'll be explaining it to you. The first step is always to identify what is your main task that you need to get done, the one that you will die if you don't do. And in my case, that's my studies. It needs to be the first priority, always. Everything else comes second to that. And then after that, prioritize your following tasks, which in my case is Onyx, the dog, simply because I just can't forget about him. And the bottom of my list is running the vlog and my business that I'm running. And this is something I've been trying personally to improve within the last few years. To stay organized. Regarding my studies, when I decide it's time to study, I have a very specific setup on my desk that I will use. I have my books in a specific order, my notebooks. Also I put away my phone, mute it completely on silent. And I also use a personally custom-made playlist for studying, which helps me focus. This specific organized setup is that when I decided to study and I need to study, I know the placement for everything, I know the setup just to put the stuff in order and start being productive. The same applies to when vlogging. I have all of my vlog equipment set up on a shelf. I can just grab my camera from there, everything is charged, ready to go. If you read on tips about productivity, it always comes down to one thing, either to-do lists or scheduling your time. And personally, I do a mix of both. Because usually I'm just so forgetful, so if I don't write it down on the list, I then tend to forget about it. So I personally do a schedule where I allocate specific time frames within I need to get the task done. Of course, don't apply time pressure to stuff that has to be managed and done perfectly. In that case, it's a no-brainer. You don't set a time limit. If you have to do it perfectly, then it takes the time it takes. This is the main railway station of Vaasa. I have a package that I'll be getting from a delivery company which is here right next to the station. I'm just... Treat breaks are equally as important as the main task that you're doing. Simply because your brain functions pretty much the same as a muscle. I mean, you don't go to the gym and do constant bicep curls for an hour. Instead you do 10 repetitions, then you take a how long break you take, and then you do 10 repetitions again. Same applies to when learning and studying. So instead of trying to cram in 2 hours of intensive studies in one go, split it up, take a break, and actually when you're having that break, use it as a break. Allow your mind to relax. But yeah, let's go get the package. And boom, the package is here. Better off probably putting it in my backpack. And what I have here is some LED color filters and diffusers for my panel lights. Okay, package is retrieved. I got the stuff in my backpack, and the big ass package that it came in I just threw in the trash. And now let's focus on the last productivity tip. I can almost touch the roof here in this parking cellar. My final tip for productivity is to plan for when things go south. This means plan your stuff so that in case your computer crashes, your internet connection's not working, so your studies are not completely reliant on those. In my case, I have all of my study material on the cloud, and that's simple as 1, 2, 3. Just be prepared for that computer crash, that hard drive crash, because sooner or later it will come. Anyway, this was some nice asphalt to ride on. The time limit is up, so fun time is over. I need to get honestly back to studying right now. It's so windy everywhere here. I'm now behind some buildings hoping that there will be less wind, but then there's some ventilation up there that's going hey nuts. I'm just telling you, it's totally crazy with the wind noise. And the dead cat's not doing shit for this. Anyway, the one tip that goes unmentioned: don't wait for the perfect time. Motivation won't come by itself. You just need to get going and start producing stuff. Because once you decide to start, then after that the motivation will just continue growing on you. Just start out. And this is also personally my biggest challenge. I'm bad at starting doing stuff. And for information, I'm planning on doing a future episode which will more in detail cover my study methods and techniques on how I am studying medicine. So stay tuned for that one. That's everything for the random vlog of this episode. If you like this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button somewhere down there, and also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Thank you, stay safe, and see ya.